Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob, and Jacob loved him more than anyone else. He even gave Joseph a beautiful, richly ornamented coat, and this made his brothers incredibly jealous. To make matters worse, Joseph had dreams where his brothers' sheaves of grain bowed down to his, and in another dream, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. His brothers were furious. They couldn't stand the idea of him ruling over them. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers who were tending sheep far away. When his brothers saw him coming, they hatched a plan. They were so angry they wanted to kill him. But Reuben, the oldest, convinced them to throw him in a pit instead, hoping to rescue him later. So they threw Joseph into a deep, empty cistern and sat down to eat. While they were eating, a caravan of traders came by, and Judah suggested they sell Joseph to them rather than leave him to die. They agreed and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. The brothers then took Joseph's coat, dipped it in goat's blood, and showed it to their father, telling him that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. Jacob was heartbroken and refused to be comforted. But in Egypt, Joseph's story was far from over. He was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. And even though Joseph was now a slave, God was with him. Everything he did succeeded, and Potiphar noticed. He put Joseph in charge of his whole household. But then Potiphar's wife tried to seduce Joseph. He refused, saying, "How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God?" When she falsely accused him of assault, Joseph was thrown into prison. In prison, Joseph continued to earn favor. The warden put him in charge of the other prisoners. One day, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker were thrown into the same prison. They had strange dreams, and Joseph, with God's help, interpreted them. He told the cupbearer that in 3 days he would be restored to his position, and the baker would be executed. Everything came true. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him when he got out, but the cupbearer forgot about him for 2 more years. Then, Pharaoh had 2 disturbing dreams that no one could interpret. The cupbearer remembered Joseph and told Pharaoh about him. Joseph was brought to Pharaoh, and God helped him interpret the dreams. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph advised Pharaoh to store up grain during the years of plenty. Pharaoh was so impressed with Joseph that he made him second in command over all of Egypt. When the famine struck, people from all over came to Egypt to buy grain, including Joseph's brothers. They didn't recognize him, but Joseph recognized them. After testing them, Joseph finally revealed who he was. "I am Joseph, the one you sold into Egypt," he said. His brothers were terrified, but Joseph reassured them. "It was God's plan to send me ahead of you to save many lives." He forgave them and invited them to bring their whole family to live in Egypt, providing for them during the famine. When Jacob was about to die, he blessed his sons, and Joseph, fearing that his brothers might still feel guilty, reassured them once more. "You meant it for evil," he said, "but God meant it for good, to save many lives." Joseph's faith in God's plan never wavered, no matter the hardships or betrayals. Joseph lived to see his great-grandchildren, and before he died, he made the Israelites promise that when they left Egypt, they would take his bones with them. And when the time came for the Israelites to leave Egypt, they did just that. Joseph's life is a beautiful reminder of how God works even in the darkest situations. What others meant for harm, God used for good. His story shows us that no matter what life throws at us, God is always working behind the scenes for our good and His glory. Joseph trusted God's plan, and that trust carried him through every trial he faced. If Joseph's story inspired you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Bible stories like this one. Keep trusting in God's plan, and we'll see you in the next video.